Hey everyone, over the last month I've reached out to several clients who were able to take advantage of a brief rate drop window, one that opened for just a few days and then closed. The savings they locked into amounted to thousands per year, and in some cases, depending on how long they keep the loan, 6 figures over the life of the loan in savings. So in the next few minutes, I want to explain how these refinance windows work and why being ready matters. But let's look at what's actually happened with mortgage interest rates over the last 3 years. So during that time, we've seen rates in the range of 6.1% on average to 7.75% on average for a 30-year fixed loan. In February of 2023, so 3 years ago, rates were about 6.1%. A month later, they spiked to 6.7%. Then it took about a year and a half, and in September of 2024, they finally reached 6.1% again, only to have it spike up again a month later to 6.8%. Here we are, about a year and a half after that, so February of 2026, and rates are back down to about 6.1%. So here's the takeaway. Refinance opportunities do not happen all the time. They show up in short windows, and the best windows where rates are at, in this environment, rates are at 6% roughly, only happen a few times in the last 3 years. And remember, what rate you get does depend a little bit on your credit, on your equity position. If you have an FHA loan, FHA rates are usually about a half point lower than conventional rates, but they come with higher mortgage insurance. So this is what is kind of going on with rates, and they tend to come down very gradually, as you could hear in my description of the history of rates, and then go up very quickly. So think escalator coming down, elevator going up. When rates spike, it can take months, sometimes even years, to recover and get back down to that interest rate, that same level where we were. So if you miss a refinance window, you can be waiting for years or a year and a half, who knows how long. One quick reminder on rates is that the Federal Reserve does not control long-term mortgage interest rates, okay? Please make sure you understand this. The Federal Reserve will be dropping, I believe, short-term interest rates a couple of times this year. But long-term interest rates and short-term interest rates are very different. One is controlled by investors in the bond market. The other is controlled by the Federal Reserve. And oftentimes they work and move in opposite directions, okay? So just because short-term interest rates are going down doesn't mean that mortgage interest rates in 2026 are going to follow that same pattern. That's why, again, refinancing is not about trying to outsmart the market, okay? It's about layering in. Layering in means we try to find a low-cost rate for you that hopefully is a half a point, maybe a little more, ideally, but half a point. You don't have to pay a lot to get it. We have a fairly short break-even period of time to recoup those costs with our savings, and that way, if rates do drop down to 5.5%, 5 3/8, that we can take advantage of that market, and we haven't given up very much because there weren't a lot in costs that were rolled into the loan. So that's the strategy instead of trying to outsmart the market. Just know that I actively watch rates for all of my clients, okay? So I know exactly what your interest rate is if you're a client of mine, and I will watch that. But sometimes there's more nuanced situations, like maybe you've got a lot of debt and it's just crushing your cash flow. And if that's the case, we may want to refinance and free up a bunch of cash flow, even if it means going a little higher in your interest rate. That could still make sense. You might have a big project or an investment that you want to try to fund. This is another good reason. And lastly, maybe you're throwing extra cash at your mortgage every month, and maybe you don't need to be on a 30-year fix. You can go to a 15-year or a 10-year, and those come with significantly lower interest rates. So if any of those are your situation, please reach out to me and let me know, because those are a little more nuanced, and I can put you on that radar and put you on my watch list. Last thing I'll say about this is If you're above that 6%, or if you have one of these nuanced situations and you'd like to be prepared for this next refinance window, feel free to reach out to me, and what we'll do is we'll take a look early on at your situation. Maybe I'll get a mortgage statement from you, and then we'll plan on what a strike rate is that makes sense for you with minimal costs or modest costs, and that way we can be prepared if this next refinance window opens up and it's only a day or 2 days. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. If you have any questions, feel free to call me at any time, and have a great day.